Hey folks, I am Kevin Iole, and joining me right now is one of the best to ever do it, one of the best heavyweights of all time, the WBC and lineal heavyweight champion, Tyson Fury. And look at that, he is in shape, ready to roll.
Yeah.
October 9th against the big dosser, as he calls him, Deontay Wilder. Now, let's start with this. What the hell is a dosser?
Look it up. Put it in Google, and you'll find out what a dosser is. It comes up with Deontay Wilder.
Okay, I'm not a dosser then, right?
Nope, you're not a dosser, just Wilder.
Okay, there we go. All right. This is the third fight. Obviously, most people wanted to see you fighting Anthony Joshua this time around. What is the motivation against a guy like this where, you've beaten him probably, 15 out of 20 rounds that you fought and stopped him in the second fight? How do you get the motivation up when you've dominated a guy the way you have?
I'm motivated to fight any opponents because it's my job. I get paid to be motivated, and I get paid to be here and do this. So, I'm here. I'm enjoying myself. I've had one of the best training camps that I've ever had. I'm injury-free and firing on all cylinders. I've been taking extra measures and precautions. There's nothing more I can do, I'm very, very focused, very determined. Cannot wait for the fight. It's Vegas. It's Gypsy King. What's not to like?
Well, last time you...
How much more motivation do we need?
You came out carried on and thrown last time. The time before that, I think you were Uncle Sam. What do you got up your sleeve for the entrance? You're known for your entrances now.
Yeah, I got something very special coming. So tune in. I can't give any information away, but the one thing I can say is it's going to be epic.
Okay, we can't wait to see. I have this feeling that you're going to come out wearing what Deontay Wilder wore last time. That's what I think is going to happen. So we'll see how that rolls. Hey, Tyson, the change from the first fight to the second fight was pretty stark. And I think what you did is expose in that second fight that Deontay could not fight backing up. In the period of time that you've had, 15, 16 months has it been? Is there any way to adjust for him to adjust that? Can you learn how to, change your style of fighting if it was that big of a flaw as it was last February?
I think you can. I changed my style from a slick boxer, counter puncher, to an aggressive puncher within 6 weeks of being with Sugar Hill. Never mind 16 months. You could probably go to college and get a doctor's degree in 16 months if you wanted to. Never mind change your style. I'm backing up from a boxer. It's people say to me, "Oh, you can't learn new tricks and all that," but I'm living proof you can learn new tricks. It took me 6 weeks to go from a slick counter punch boxer into an aggressive knockout puncher. 6 weeks. That's all.
Yeah. When you went into the ring that time, then you're a confident guy, but everybody has doubts and everything. And you practiced this. Were you 100% confident as you're standing there waiting for the first bell to ring, that plan would work, or did you think, "Hey, I might have to adjust here"?
You've always might be able to adjust in fights. Everyone's got a plan till they get punched in the mouth, says Mike Tyson. And it's 100% true. Sometimes game plans don't work and you just got to win however you can. You get stuck in, put your best foot forward and swing away. Swing away. That's all you can do.
I don't know if you happened to catch the Muhammad Ali documentary that was on just a couple of weeks ago, but it was fantastic. And one of the things that came out in that, I think, that we all knew was Ali was such a master at making adjustments throughout his career. And do you figure, that might, you're known as a boxer and for your massive size, but do you think your ability to adjust in fights is really an underrated aspect of your success?
I've adjusted to every single person 31 times. It's never been a problem, whether they're big, short, fat, skinny, fast, whatever. I can always adjust. And the great fighters, not the good ones, just the great ones, they can always adjust to what's in front of them on the night and change the game plans mid-fight.
Right. Deontay Wilder, I think it's fair to say, is a great fighter, right? I mean, he's not a slick boxer or anything, but with that kind of punching power he has, I think, he's dangerous at any point. Even in that fight against you the last time where he's so beaten up, it's just like that fight could change. So that always has to keep you on edge, does it not?
Yes, 100%. You have to focus with Deontay Wilder all the time you're in the ring. As long as you focus on your job, you can only do your best, and that's it.
What was your take on his reaction afterwards? And it's been a little bizarre. He blamed, he thought he was poison in the water. And, there was a lot about, about the gloves in the first fight, that your gloves were somehow tampered with and all this. And, I've gone over that a million times with people and say there's no way. But what do you make of the way Deontay has reacted, especially to the second fight?
I don't make much of it, to be honest. He's just gone down in my estimation as a man. Just disappointing to hear all that bullshit out of a former champion's mouth. And, I almost feel sorry for him.
Interesting. Did he hit you in that second fight at all where, it's like, you could feel that like in the first fight when he dropped you twice? Could you feel anything in the second fight?
No, I didn't feel anything. He dropped me twice in the first fight because I'd only had like 6-7 months of activity and lost 147 pounds and then fought him after 3 years out of the ring. So that was his only chance to beat me. And he didn't do it then. So he hasn't got a chance now. I walked right through him last time, didn't feel any of his punches whatsoever. And we'll see if he can change up his game plan. And I hope he gives me a challenge because I trained for an absolute war for the second fight and I didn't get it. It was just like a one-sided beatdown. So I'm hoping he can bring the much better fight this time and give me a challenge. I'm not heavyweight champion of the world for nothing. I want a challenge.
Right. Interestingly enough, and when you had the press conference, he sat there, the press conference 6 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago in Los Angeles, and he sat there with headphones on and basically did not speak at all, let Malik Scott do the talking for him. But I wanted to ask you about what to me was the most interesting about that was the stare down. Like, what the hell's going in your mind as you're just, it was like 6 minutes. I've never seen anything live. I've seen crazy stare downs. At some point, you got to get, bored, shove them or do something. What was going through your mind, Tyson?
Not a lot, really. Just standing there looking at a pussy in front of me with his earphones on and his nose rings in. I was thinking, I'm going to tear you to pieces. And, I was just letting him see the man mountain that was in front of him. And in the end, he didn't like what he saw and he walked away. Waiting for that chink in his armor, and he showed it me again.
I have seen people online. Now, I haven't had a chance to see you because you're taking precautions with COVID. So I haven't had a chance to see you in person, but I have seen people online who I guess have seen you because they are saying that you're too thin now and that you're not as big as you were last time. What do you anticipate coming in this fight?
Actually, nobody's seen me because I've not been anywhere.
Right.
I've not had anybody in the house. That's not part of my team. I don't do live interviews because of COVID. I've not been out the door, so nobody's seen me. They may have seen a photograph or something like that, but not worried too much.
What do you think you're going to weigh in that one? You were big last time. A lot was made of that. I think you're 270, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll come back around that size, or will you change?
Yeah. That's my walking around weight. That sort of weight.
Okay, very good. Last time you were kind of responsible for the evolution of one of your sparring partners into a pretty good heavyweight prospect, Jared Big Baby Anderson. Has he been with you again? And do you see a different, he's a kid that I think has a chance to be a really good fighter. I'm curious what you think. And is he giving you some work this time around?
Yes, I have him in for all of these big fights. He's my little secret weapon. He's not so little. He's massive. Yeah. But yeah, he's a very, very good boxer, very good fighter. He's a full package. And if he wasn't, I'd tell you, I'd find him out.
Right.
But he's got everything that you need to be heavyweight champion. He's got ability, he's got talent, he's got determination and balls like King Kong. Because if you haven't, you can't spar with me. It doesn't work because you get fucked up. And he gives me good work every single time. I'm really, really happy with him, and I'm sure he'll be the world champion after I'm gone for sure.
Speaking of world champions, I want to get your take on Alexander Usyk's performance. He defeats Anthony Joshua the other day. Now, I wrote this before the fight, Tyson. I said if I had not seen Alexander Usyk fight Chaz Witherspoon, I would have bet Usyk 100 times out of 100. But I did see him fight Witherspoon, and he didn't, in my opinion, didn't look good. I assume you saw the fight on Saturday. What was your take on Usyk's performance, and were you surprised at how he was able to do?
No, wasn't surprised. There's an interview on TalkSport, and I actually broke the fight down to exactly how it went. Kind of crazy, actually. Just hold on 1 second while I read this to you.
Okay, I want to see it.
It's like I'm Nostradamus.
Nostradamus.
Right. He says, I think he's got more on his plate than thinking about what I'm going to do in my fight, because he's on about he thinks Wilder will beat me, whatever. I said, he's got to win his own fight first, and I'm not convinced he's going to do it. So here's what I said. I said, I expect AJ to come out to try and box a bit more because he's got this new way he boxes now using his jab. He knows he doesn't have the stamina to take the fight to somebody under sustained pressure and to keep that up because he gasses after about 3 or 4 rounds, and then he needs to take 3 or 4 rounds off. So he wouldn't be able to do that against Usyk because Usyk will be on him all the time, making him fight. So I expect it to be awkward, maybe a bit of a chess match for a few rounds, and I expected AJ to run out of ideas. If he doesn't land on him early and get him out of there with big punches, then I seen it being a tough night for AJ and maybe even a late stoppage. I can make a lot of reasons why AJ would lose this fight to Usyk. One, because he's a big southpaw and he's awkward, a slick boxer. I think he punches harder than people give him credit for. But it's not how hard you punch. You've got to keep hitting the target, and sooner or later, the big bodybuilder will fall apart at the seams like an old cheap cushion, falling to bits. He'll run out of ideas quickly. He's a one-trick pony.
How about that? That is Tyson Fury before Alexander Usyk defeated Anthony Joshua. Well, I'm going to put you on the spot once again, Tyson. We got about 3 minutes left here. Break down the fight with Deontay Wilder. You predicted a knockout last time. Everything you said came true. Tell us how this fight with Deontay Wilder on October 9th is going to end.
I'm predicting another knockout. We're going to go out there. We're going to start trading punches from round 1, and I'm going to land on him. I'm going to not going to stop punching him until he's on the floor, and that's how it's going to go.
Maybe a simple one. October 9th on pay-per-view. You can see this man, Tyson Fury, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, against Deontay Wilder. Tyson, all the best to you. Always good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you. All the best.
See you. Bye-bye.